This is the first time I've had it all together, as far as the front end, the bumper cover, and everything, and on the ground, sitting at ride height. And I'm really not happy with the intercooler. I really should have centered that in the car. And I'm unhappy with it enough to where I think I'm probably going to move it. I got some 1¼ by 1/8 plate, so I'm going to use that to make my brackets. There's nothing holding the intercooler right here, it's just sitting on these jack stands. I just ran some tape right there in case I bump it and it falls. I don't know that the tape will save it, but maybe it'll slow it down as it crashes to the ground. I've got my first part of the bracket made. It just bolts onto where the bumper support used to be. And I'm going to use this piece of welding wire to get the angles right, to kind of make a pattern, so I can come up and bolt it to the mounting bracket on the intercooler. So not much to it, pretty simple little piece. I'll take my 1/8" plate and bend it in that pattern, and then I'll weld the two pieces together, and I should have a bracket. Alright, so I got the first part of my bracket made. I want the car to be easy to work on. I think most people, when they put this together, they put the intercooler up here and just nut and bolt, through bolt that and put it together. I'm going to use one of these nut inserts. It's kind of like a rivet. Goes in here, and then there's a special tool you use to crimp this down, and it puts threads in there so I don't have to use a nut on it. So a lot of people shy away from these because they think you need a special tool to install them, and to a certain extent you do. There's a big rivet gun, just a big, looks kind of like a pair of bolt cutters that will crimp that. They also make kind of a disposable placing tool, so that's what I'm going to use. Instead of a $100 rivet gun, they're like $2–3. So I'll show you how that works. So this is that placing tool. Not much to it. It's like a bolt. I put that washer on there. It's got this guy. It just slips over here. Screws on like this. Drop it down in your hole. Hold the bottom one with a wrench. Tighten the top one and it will expand that rib nut. And lock it in that hole. So you can see that's how they work. It just tulips out the back side, and there's some fins on there that bite into the metal. So now I've got a captured nut right there. I didn't have to weld anything. I didn't have to weld the nut on the back side, and I don't have to mess with holding the nut when I try to put it together or take it apart. Doing the second one, I'm gonna do this one with the air ratchet, or the air gun. I put that washer on there just for this reason, so I can push down with the air ratchet, the impact gun, and hold it in place. So there we go. All right, you guys are on me pretty hard about my reliance on the MIG welder, using that kind of as a crutch instead of a TIG. So I'm gonna try to TIG these brackets together. I've been practicing a little bit, so we'll see how I do. So there I am. Still not the greatest. Got some porosity in there. but I think for the bracket that we're building, or that I'm building, should work fine. I'm gonna do one more on this surface right here. I'm sorry, on this surface right here, and then go from there. So there's my second one. See where I left a big crater where I pulled out. So, long ways to go on TIG welding. But little projects like this are good practice for me, so there we go. All right, all done. Intercooler's moved over, built some new brackets. That's where it's gonna go. One more thing checked off the list. A while ago, I did a video about a contest for a logo design for the Underground Garage. This is what me and the rest of you guys out there on YouTube, this is what we came up with. So I got some shirts made. I got them gray with the black logo like this, or I got them in black with a white logo. So if you guys want to support the Underground Garage, I'll put a link in the description where you guys can order some of those shirts. As always, we appreciate the like, the watch, the share, all that kind of stuff, and good luck with your projects out there.